I take this proud opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker to our audiences, Dr. Subuh Anggoro. Dr. Subuh Anggoro is associated with Faculty of Education and Teachers Training, Universities of Muhammadiyah Purwokerto. He holds a PhD in Education in Basic Education and Masters in Education in Basic Education. He has more than 10 years of working experience from Persephone Elementary Teachers Department and head of Magister of Basic Education Department. He has experienced joyful learning, reflective conceptual change, e-learning readiness, and differentiated instructions during 10 years, begin with his dissertation, thesis, project, article, and proprietary rights. Currently, he is editor-in-chief of Dinamika Ilmiah Pendidikan Dasar. Further information can be accessible from his Google Scholars site. I request Dr. Subuh Anggoro to raise his hand for his presentation to all of us. Please welcome Dr. Subuh Anggoro.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear Professor R.C. Singh from Sarda Group of Institution and Sarda University as President SRD, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Sarda University as Vice President SRD, Dr. Rohit Khoher, Secretary of SRD, and Chief Technology Officer Vidya Prakashan Mandir, my best friend, Dr. Kang Hartu, Publicity Chair, Seminar Exam, Dr. Venus C. Ibarra from San Pablo College, Philippines as Conference Co-Chair, Dr. Gunjan Jain from Westminster International University, Tashkent as Session Chair, Professor Ajay Kumar, Indrapastra Engineering College, Ghaziabad as valedictorian speaker. The amazing and inspiring invited speakers and dear presenters. It's a big honor for me to be the keynote speaker of the 6th International Conference on Management, Engineering, Science, Social Science, and Humanities. Thanks to SRD and Seminar Exam for this honor. Dear everyone, my name is Subuh Anggoro, and today I'm going to presentation about publishing high impact journal to sustain quality education and experience in conference organization. Sustainable Development Goals were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030, all people enjoy peace and prosperity. The 17 SDGs are integrated. They recognize that action in one area will affect outcomes in others, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. The title of fourth Sustainable Development Goals is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. It means achieving inclusive and quality education for all reaffirms the belief that education is one of the most powerful and proven vehicle for sustainable development. There are 10 outcomes targets on fourth SDG and 3 means of implementation. We choose 3 targets, such as education for sustainable development and global citizenship, second, universal primary and secondary education, and 3, universal youth literacy. Main of the implementation of each SDG, I choose one about teachers and education, because teachers are the fundamental condition for guaranteeing quality education. Teachers and educators should be empowered, educationally recruited, and remunerated, motivated, professionally qualified, and supported within well-resourced, efficient, and effectively governed system. All of it should have supported by high-impact publication or high-impact journal. Dinamika Jurnal Ilmiah Pendidikan Dasar or Dynamic Elementary Education Scientific Journal is the part of to become high-impact publication. This journal have a high-profile editor such as Prof. Tohtin Lam, Dr. Anghartu, Dr. Miyadera, etc. And we also supported from some reviewers for Malaysia, for Philippines, Japan, from Myanmar, from Brunei Darussalam. Many of them have Scopus ID and researcher ID, and also some of them have a high index in Scopus on Google Scholar. One of the reviewer have a 17 index, the other is 13 index, 20 index, 2H index, and so on. And many of them have more than 50 publication and more than 500 citation. If you want to look at, you can look at our web, and this is the link of if you want to look at. The visitor of our journal more than 50 visitor per day, and they can get this article for free. In our journal, 90% is elementary education, and the rest is education that common. And the language of my the language is more than half is Indonesian, use Indonesian, and the rest is in English. We hope our member of SRD to contribute this journal, because we have targeted in 2023 we can index by Scopus. For now, we just indexing in Crossref, Dimension, Base, Copernicus, and Google Scholar. You can check it in our journal. It is the link, and hope you can look it. International Conference for Social Science has held in 19 July 2021, and we collaborated the agency of European Alliance for Innovation, or EAI, and it is to support our graduate competence, and we hold the international this conference every 2 years inviting some experts from various fields of science. And in the first conference, we invite from Dr. Miyadira, Professor Tohtin Lam, Dr. Engkartu, Dr. Corina, and three from Indonesia. We hope all of members SRD can contribute in conference and in the future. We have supported from Alliance for Innovation. You can look at in UDL for database, and EIEU website on bit.ly 3CL7LOW. And we have information that this publishing can be indexed and at Scopus maybe a year. We hope it happen. Have experience in to hold reputed international conference proceeding. The first is we submit this conference on EIE, and I have experience that at least two months of this process to get the MOU, and we must accept the accepted article is only 70% from all participants, and this Econest has been agenda on Econest in 2021. Before it, we must prepare the documents and website, and it must have time 2 months to prepare it, and in April we get information that we have been prepared for publication in our CCR series. And after presented the article, we send the accepted article after review on EIE, and we have a process on it now. At least 3 or 4 months after now, we can publish the article, but the DOI and the indexed of Scopus at least more time, maybe 6 months. Thus, all of this process need 1 year for submit to publication and to indexed Scopus. This is a process of the end of process. The camera ready, and we hope it can be done in this month, and 2 months again we can publish the article. All of that article. And I have conclusion that the whole of this conference and high impact journal can be done with cooperation and collaboration to hold all of member of SRD. I really appreciate it because I know some of them have busy work, but they give time for success from our conference. And the High Impact Journal International Conference reputed should become synergy for development sustainable development education. A big thanks for Society for Research Development and Mayor Exam, especially Dr. Hartu as my teacher, my motivator, and my mentor. And we will remember not the words of our enemies, but silence of our friends. We can hope, I really hope, cooperated with some member of SRD to make our journal and our conference make better in future. If anyone who would like more information or has question, please feel free to contact me at subuhanggoro@umpach.id. It has been pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Subuh Anggoro.